Everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tapping in. I'm Trichis Asia as usual for today. As we have been studying together, as we have been teaching one another, as we have been answering some different questions in our lives. Even today, I've come with another question. Does life stop when the partner you're dating leaves you? Does it mean that you cannot get anyone else to love you even more? Does life end when you fail marriage? Because there are people that have tried it, not intentionally to fail, but things have not worked out. But me today I have a question. Does life stop surely? Does life stop when marriage fails, or when you're still single, you expected to marry the fiance that you're having, and somehow, like you had spent 2 months, 2 years, 3 years, some have stayed for 5 years in relationships, and at a time your fiance leaves you? Does life stop from there? Really, does life end? Can't I get someone else to love me even more? Does it mean that he was the final man, or she was the final lady? No, life does not stop. Please watch this video. You're going to get blessed. You're going to get answers for your questions. Life does not stop. And if you have not subscribe, and I will tell you what comes after. If the relationship you had failed, what can you do? Number one thing you have to put in your mind is that life does not stop, because God is the beginner and the end. He knows the beginning, He knows the end. He knows the end from the beginning. Before you begin the relationship, God is already aware that the relationship is going to happen. Now, He knows even the person you're having. I'm not saying that you struggle to make sure that relationships fail. No. I'm not saying that you struggle to make your marriage fail because there is another chance. No. But what I want to tell you is, do all that you can. Use all of your efforts and try to put things together. But if at all the relationship does not work out, because we are going to share down here and see why do relationships fail and what comes after the failure of a relationship. I want you to know that God knows the end from the beginning. Before you met that spouse that you're having, before you met that lady, before you met the husband that you had married, or before you met the wife that you had married and finally they failed, God knew and He was with you. Now I want us to know, if God knew, why does it still fail? Why did my relationship fail? Why did my marriage fail? I'm talking about these that have already tried and now they are now single mom, single dad. Unless you're still single, you're a girl or you are a boy, what comes next if he or she leaves you? I want us to know, as I've told you, God is in control of everything. Another thing you have to know, when a relationship fails, when it fails, please know that some people are part of our story. Not everyone was meant for you. Sometimes the way you connected, it was not a godly way. God saw you and was there in His throne and watched you and was like, oh wow, this is what my child is doing. This is what my son, my daughter is doing. Sometimes those relationships are not in the will of God, and God helps you. Actually, when you see a relationship fail, sometimes you have to appreciate God, because He has helped us a lot. Because some people are not part of our life. They are not meant to be our spouses in life, because God destined us for a certain specific person. God knew that he or she will be good for you, will make you fulfill your purpose of why God created you. Now, what I want you to know, when a relationship fails, know that God knew it would fail, and He had a reason why it failed, because some people are not part of us. Sometimes we are the ones that connect relationships. We are the ones that make these relationships appear, all happen. Because sometimes you find you just had a crush on someone and you just went into a relationship. You didn't even ask God about it, you didn't even pray about it, you didn't even trust it with the Lord. You just used your own understanding, you just used your own desires and your own feelings and thought maybe it would work for you. But I want you to know some people are not part of our lives. Some people are not the ones. We are dating the wrong people and we assume they are the right people and we spend much time with them thinking that we are going to end with them. But today, I want you to know that even if a relationship fails, know that God knew and know that that person was not meant for you. As long as you have done all you're supposed to do, you have kept yourself, you have prayed about it, and you have put limits, you have given what it takes, and finally it has still failed. You have used the whole of you to fix things, and things have not worked. Don't blame yourself. Don't go into isolation and say, no, maybe I was not meant to marry, or unless I'm not beautiful, or unless I'm not nice looking, I'm not present. No, 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 no. Just know that that person was not meant for you and trust God for someone else because God knows everyone has his or her mate. You cannot say, though there are many men, though there are many women, we still have our own. You just trust God. Your own measure is there. Your own measure is there. Just trust God and know that that person who has left you, he was not meant for you. He was not your soulmate. He was not your husband or your wife. God prepared it for you. Another tip you have to know when someone leaves you, you know that those people, some of them are destiny helpers. For example, you find someone has a relationship in senior six, for example. You still have time to go to campus, you still have time to pursue your bachelor's or something you want to do ahead, and you're already in a relationship. Some people, yes, they work, but sometimes relationships don't work. Maybe God wanted you to leave all this confusion of other men, of other ladies, and just trust yourself with one, be accountable to that one for a specific time. But when time goes by, God knows this is the time to take this person away from you because this person was not meant for you, and he prepares that person for someone he had put in place for, for the lady you are dating or for the man you're dating. Just to know that some people are destiny helpers. They are to help us push until we meet the really people. And God knows when to take that person out of your life or else when to bring a right person because relationships have happened and people when you ask someone and you're like compare the person that left you and the person you married, whom do you think was the right choice? And someone tells you truly, I thank God for taking the past person, the last person I had, because the current person I have is so good, is so loving, is so enjoyable. I would have regretted if I married the other ex I had before marriage. Now I want you to know that people help us until we come to meet these specific people God had destined us to marry. No, if someone leaves you, he was a helper, she was a helper to push you for 1 year, 2 years until you meet your righty person, until you meet your Mr. Right and Mrs. Right. I want us to stop having these stresses. You isolate yourself, you get depression, you start hating yourself, you start looking at people as if they are your enemies. No, just know some people are destiny helpers and trust God for another relationship. Another thing you have to know when someone leaves you, you know that those people that we meet, those people that we have, sometimes either it is you, it might be me or you. I mean, like it may be the boy or the girl, the lady or the woman, the husband or the wife, who has disqualified, you find you have disqualified yourself. You have disqualified yourself. Now, I want you to know that sometimes you can disqualify yourself. Someone you find God gave you your spouse or your partner for life, and for you, you took things for granted, and you started jumping around. You're not committed. You're not serious. You're dating here and there, and you're taking things just, and God knows that the person He has given you is a person that can do you good, that can live with you, that can make a good couple with you. But for you started even cheating, you started even dating others, you started even becoming something ununderstandable. And you find you're disqualifying yourself. Because if at all God gave you a Christian man, if at all God gave you a Christian woman, why should you behave like someone who has not accepted Christ? Why should you behave as if you're not booked, either you're not committed to someone else? Because when you are single, you're different from someone who's already booked. And when you are booked, you're different from someone who's single. Because someone who's booked is accountable to a certain person. And someone who's still single, it means he's still searching. You cannot live the same life. You cannot live the same life. Now, you might be the one who disqualified yourself and should stop blaming anyone, should stop blaming your surrounding, and just accept that you're the one who worked towards failing your relationship. For today, let us stop doing things that are contrary to our relationships. Learn your spouse, learn your partner, and know what he or she loves most, and don't hurt them. Because you may disqualify yourself, you can disqualify yourself surely. Please let us stop disqualifying ourselves because of what we do. The works we do, the things we do in relationships, they matter. Whether the relationship is going to last or the relationship is going to die. Now, when we are in a relationship, there are things we should stop doing, because some things we do, they act as red flags. Red flags. You find you have a partner, for example, you're a lady and you have your boyfriend or your fiance, and now he or she gets you with another person. You're now dating, maybe gets your phone and finds messages. You're making programs, you're making day outs. You're doing a lot of garbage that is not going to build up your relationship. There you will have disqualified yourself. If you are ready and you have a company of people that are not supporting marriage, that are not building you up, that are just pulling you here and there, you are disqualifying yourself. Please don't disqualify yourself. There are the things that you do, and you find your spouse is always quarreling, is always arguing, is always not comfortable with them. Now let us stop doing these things that hurt our spouses, that hurt our friends, that hurt our partners, because they might work as red flags. And whenever a red flag arises, a sensible person will sense something. We know there is something wrong here. And you find they have started pouring out, pouring out, pouring out. And you find we are failing our relationships, even us, the people who are in the relationships, and we start grumbling, saying God has not been faithful. He gives you people that come and go. No one is staying. Little knowing that you're the one that disqualifies yourself because of the things you do. Now, let us stop disqualifying ourselves and work towards it, making our relationships work, whether in marriage, whether in relationships. I mean, singles who have not entered into marriage and you happen to watch this video, please work out yourself and make sure you do things mm, that will be in line with your relationship, that are supporting your relationship, and put your limits on the things that are pulling you out, that are taking your heart away, that are occupying you in a wrong way. Because heartbreaks happen when you love someone and happen someone leaves you. Surely it hurts. I don't know whether you have felt it somewhere, somehow. It hurts, surely. It hurts when someone you loved leaves you. and now you're just in air hanging. You don't know what to add next. You don't know whether there will come someone who will again love you. But I want to tell you, sometimes you can fail yourself. You can fail yourself. But please, let us stop failing ourselves. Another thing we have to know, there is always another chance to grab. People, stop living in distress. Stop living in isolation because someone left you, and now you start living uh, as if the word has ended, as if life stops from that person you had. No, there is always a second chance to grab, because we have seen that there are many things that make the relationships fail. Either one was not part of your story, one was a destiny helper, or somehow you discovered yourself, or some things didn't go well. But I want you to know there is always a second chance to grab, and you can surely meet the very good substitute of the person you had. It is very possible God can bring even the best. Because when someone discovers himself or herself and goes away, as long as you have kept your faith, you have kept your trust in the Lord, you have continued walking right with God, God is so faithful to give you the reward, and God gives the best. That is what I can assure you. God gives the best. Now, when someone leaves you, don't live in distress. Don't hate yourself. Don't look at things as if they are now, you are now locked into a house that has no door and you see no way through. That is the time you're supposed to trust God and tell God, this is who I am. I need your help. Here I cannot manage. And God, I assure you, will come through for you, and will get you a nice partner. Don't give up and say, I will live a single life. I will be a single mom. I will be a single dad. No, just try it again. Give it a try. Another chance is ahead of you. Let us trust God, because relationships are good if they are done by the Lord. I love you. Thank you for watching. If this video has blessed you, share it, like it, and comment. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. This channel will give you a lot. It is going to give you a lot. You're going to start a lot. We are going to share a lot. Please subscribe and let even other people know about this information, because the Lord is our pillar, the Lord is our strength, and we can make it here and then. Bless you. I love you.